Welcome to the Get Fit Guy's quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy. Heart rate-based workouts are nothing new, but there is a new gym chain in town that claims to have cracked the code. So I did some undercover investigation to get the goods on whether or not the theory behind Orangetheory is flawed or fit. So there's a newish chain of gyms popping up around the world, and it's called Orangetheory Fitness. And after hearing a few of the athletes that I coach rave about it, I figured I should probably give it a try. Happily, they offer a free trial session, so really, I had nothing to lose, except for perhaps my fitness dignity. So I put on my fake nose and mustache and headed to the Davie Street location to experience it for myself. Now, the first class that I attended was on a Thursday at 7:30 a.m. The staff informed me that today's workout is called Orange Endurance, and interestingly, everyone who happens to be in any Orangetheory fitness location around the globe will be doing this same group endurance workout all day today. From Vancouver to Melbourne, from Tampa to Seoul, Winchester to Lübeck. Everyone is getting sweaty with the Orange Endurance workout. And this is how the workout went. After a 3-minute warm-up on the rowing machine, we moved over and did a dumbbell set that was a combination of step-ups with dumbbells in your hand, mountain climbers, lateral raises, weighted bench crunch, and then we zipped over to the rowing machines and did an all-out 600-meter effort. Then we had a TRX set, which was a combination of chest press, bicep curl, lateral pull down, squat jumps, and then back onto the rowing machine for an all-out 600-meter row. Now, after that was done, which took about 26 minutes at that point, we moved over to the other part of the gym where the treadmills and the rowing machines were, and we did a treadmill set, which was a descending duration of different paces. We did some easy pace, or baseline as they called it, some push pace, and a few all-out efforts, starting with 3-minute intervals and working our way down to 30-second intervals. Then we finished the class with a 3-minute cool down, with a few more minutes of stretching and chatting at the end. Now my second class, yes, I managed to get a second free class out of them, and yes, I am a glutton for early morning punishment. They called this workout Orange Everest, and they claim that it's one of the most popular workouts they have. And it goes like this. After a 3 to 5 minute warm-up on the treadmill, we all started a 23-minute Everest climb at an incline of 1%. Then we simply increased that incline by 1% every minute until we reached a challenging climb of 15%. Now, during this, we were allowed to adjust our pace, but we had to keep the incline up, and that was being dictated and monitored by a coach. Now, after we spent 1 minute at the maximum of 15% incline, we started coming back down the other side. And when we reached the bottom, we did 1 minute at the push pace and the final minute all out. Now, being someone who loves to kick at the end of a race, this is where I really shone. And when I say that I shone, I mean that I flung sweat all over the gym. Now, then we all hustled, well, some of us hustled over to the other area of the gym where they keep the weights, and we started the next phase of the workout, which consisted of narrow grip dumbbell bench press, hammer curls, seated overhead press to standing position, and then we hit the rowing machine for a 250-meter all-out set. Now, we did this 4 times through with 12, 10, 8, and 6 reps. Then we moved on to plank dumbbell rows on each side, tricep overhead extension, and supine leg lifts. Now, this set, we actually added reps instead of dropping them. We started with 6 and ended with 12, and then well, we collapsed. And then after a brief stretch and chat, we were sent on our merry way. Now, foolishly, I actually rode my bike to the gym, so my workout wasn't done yet. And needless to say, it was a more leisurely ride home than it usually would be. Okay, enough of the reminiscing. Why did I decide to give Orangetheory Fitness a try now? Well, after referencing a study that was done at the University of California that evaluated the effects of concurrent strength and aerobic endurance training on muscle strength, endurance, body composition, and flexibility in female college athletes, Listener Erica actually wrote to me on Facebook and said,
"Hi, Brock. I work out exclusively at Orangetheory, and I absolutely love it. And my question is, would you equate the workout at Orangetheory to the one in the study that saw the crazy improvements in the various health metrics? Thanks."
Now, I responded to Erica saying, sure, but with a few caveats. First, the lifting must be done at a high enough weight to reach muscle failure. Second, the bursts of cardio must be short and very intense. Third, the study only lasted 11 weeks, and if the study had continued longer, there definitely would have been diminished returns. I mean, those kind of crazy results will not go on forever. Fourth, the subjects in the study only did that workout 3 times per week, so they allowed for adequate recovery. And finally, I also added that I had not actually been to Orangetheory, but that I promised I would give it a try and let her know what I thought. And this is what I'm doing today. Now, as I said before, every day Orangetheory gyms around the world, from New York to Kuwait, all do the same workout. Sometimes it's an endurance workout like the one that I did, or a strength workout, or straight up high-intensity interval training. Now, I have to admit that when I asked more specifically about the workouts that they had planned for the remainder of the week, they seemed pretty cloak and dagger about it all, so I didn't push it. But that did make my coachy senses tingle. If the participants don't know what type of workout they're in for, how can they plan accordingly to achieve a specific fitness goal beyond just getting in shape? And I'll talk more about that later. According to their website, Orangetheory is a 1-hour full-body workout focused on training endurance, strength, and/or power. We use heart rate-based interval training, which burns more calories post-workout than a traditional exercise. When wearing our heart rate monitors, your real-time results are displayed on large screens throughout the studio. Then they go on to talk about how intensity is based on your individual heart rate zones, which they calculate for you based on the extremely rough equation of 220 minus your age, which they claim makes the workout effective for all levels of fitness. Now, this is something I can only partially buy at this point, but having had my butt handed to me today, I can't really complain. Now, the gym space itself is definitely one of the most high-tech exercise spaces I've ever been in. There's a TV screen above the treadmills that displays your name, heart rate, percentage of your max heart rate, and calories burned, and a thing called splat points, which we'll talk about next. There's also TVs in the weight room that display the exercises and reps so you can reference them during your workout if you forget what the instructor demonstrated before you started. Now back to these splat points, these are awarded to you when you are in the orange and the red heart rate zones, and are particularly sought after by Orangetheory goers, not only because we all love to, gamify our workouts or our lives, and have a way to quantify our hard work, but also because of a thing called afterburn. And the OTF, or Orangetheory Fitness folks, refer to these zones as the afterburn zones, based on the notion that when your heart rate is up over 85% of your maximum, you continue to burn calories for 24 to 36 hours after the class is over. Now, before I get further into this whole idea of splat points, books are powerful. They can move us to act, to take great risks and leaps of faith. And that's why I think you'd enjoy But That's Another Story. But That's Another Story is a new podcast hosted by best-selling author Will Schwalbe. Each episode, he talks to writers, artists, athletes, and politicians about their books and how it changed their lives and their perspectives. For me, there's a book by Haruki Murakami called What I Talk About When I Talk About Running that I return to every couple years to ground myself and remind myself why I do what I do. So don't miss But That's Another Story. And you can listen to the first episode now or subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever the heck you listen to podcasts. Just search for But That's Another Story. Okay, back to the afterburn. Now, getting splat points for being in the orange zones produces what exercise physiologists call the EPOC effect. That's EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, otherwise known as the afterburn. The suggested biological reason for EPOC is to, and I quote, restore the body to its resting state and allow for physiological adaptations, which will help the body handle the exercise or stress more easily in the future. EPOC is at its most powerful immediately after the exercise session, but some studies have found that EPOC can last up to 24 hours. Now, I didn't find any that indicated 36 hours like the OTF people claimed. It should also be noted that other studies have found that it lasts much shorter than 24 hours. In fact, some found that EPOC lasts less than an hour in some cases. Now, there are many reasons for this discrepancy, including gender, genetics, body composition, fitness level, and more. But the important part is that the jury is actually still out on how much benefit you actually get from EPOC, or the afterburn. Other research suggests that not only the duration, but the actual calorie burning effect of EPOC is much smaller than advertised, and probably only makes a minor dent in weight loss compared to the actual energy cost of the actual exercise itself. Unless the exercise is undertaken regularly, which is when the EPOC would have a cumulative effect. In one study, they found that the amount of energy burned during EPOC is only about 6 to 15% as much as was used during the exercise itself. So let's put that in context. 20 rounds of 1-minute running intervals performed at 105% of VO2 max, which is an effort that we refer to as very, very uncomfortable, separated by 2 minutes of rest, burned an average of 537 calories during the exercise, but only an extra 64 calories in the 9 hours after the session. Wah, wah. Now back to why my coachy senses were tingling when I found out that the workouts are kept secret, unless of course you discover the subreddit group that is devoted to sharing the workouts as they happen across the time zones. Now, I generally coach people for specific events like 10K road races, marathons, triathlons, or fitness model competitions. Now, all of these require that we do at least 90% sport-specific, periodized, and specifically targeted workouts. For example, I'm currently training myself for a triathlon. Had I known that we were doing the Orange Everest workout on Tuesday, I would not have crushed a bike swim bike workout the day before, and I would have planned a recovery day for Wednesday. As it is, I'm a little more worn out than I wanted to be at this point in the week, and my inner coach is not at all happy with my inner athlete. Now, I should add that when I brought this clandestine point up with the fine fellow that was working at the front counter of my local Orangetheory fitness gym, he did assure me that if I was to call them the day before and explain my dilemma, they would indeed reveal what the workout was going to be the next day. Now, call me lazy, but that seems a little cumbersome. Based on that, I will probably dissuade my clients from using Orangetheory on a regular basis, especially at key moments during their training blocks. The other issue I had with the theory behind Orangetheory was this idea of using heart rate as a measure of your success at the workout. Now, as I pointed out earlier, the equation of 220 minus your age does give you a rough estimate of your maximum heart rate from which you can calculate your heart rate zones, but this only goes so far for us fit folks. Many of us have resting heart rates that are considerably lower than the general public. According to the Mayo Clinic, a normal heart rate is 60 to 100 beats per minute, but mine can get down into the 40s when I'm sitting comfortably reading a book, and this has an effect on my maximum heart rate. I've also been a runner long enough that I knew instinctively to shorten my stride and increase my cadence when we set our treadmills above that 10% incline during the Orange Everest workout. And this technique results in a more efficient hill climbing and thus a lower heart rate. So I was awarded a measly 12 splat points after what I considered to be a killer workout. Not because I wasn't pushing myself, but because I'm an efficient and lifelong mover. Again, I should add that the fine fellow at the front desk did assure me that if I came in with the results of a lactate threshold or a VO2 max test, that they would adjust my zones to match whatever the tests indicated. And that's cool and gracious of them, but similar to having to call them the day before a workout to see what I should plan around it, I think I'd rather just work out on my own. All right, bottom line. In the end, anyone who is interested in a killer, fun, full-body workout in a high-tech setting that does a good job of gamifying the gym experience, this would be a great fit for you. I actually walked away describing Orangetheory as CrossFit minus the bro. For someone like Erica, who sparked this entire adventure, that is likely perfect and will help her reach her general fitness and fat loss goals, especially when I consider how hard it is to get anyone to say,
and I absolutely love it.
On the other hand, if you are working toward a very specific fitness goal, a race, or an event, there are just enough monkey wrenches in the Orangetheory experience to make Orangetheory not worth the not small cost per workout. So for now, I will see you in the pool, bike path, running track, and gym. For more gym trend info, the latest workout tips, and to join in the theoretical conversation, head over to facebook.com/getfitguy or twitter.com/getfitguy, or you guessed it, getfitguy.quickanddirtytips.com. Now, my name is Brock Armstrong, and I'm the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.